This is good.
We are live. Welcome to Squat Life Interviews. This is interview number 2. I've got the honor of interviewing Bull Huber. Got a lot of information to dig into with Bull. There's no way we're going to cover it all in one interview. So this is interview 2. Interview 1 with Bull Huber. We got our man Mike Fagan in the background doing sound and audio. Mike, how you doing over there?
I'm fine.
Okay. Quick introduction on Bull Huber. Bull did his first powerlifting meet back in 1978. Is that what you said, Bull?
Yes, sir.
And at 11 years old, some freaking godforsaken place in Chicago. Bull went on to be one of the top super heavyweight powerlifters of his day, which would be like mid-80s, early 90s. Is that accurate, Bull?
Yeah.
Bull's walked out 1,000-pound plus squats. He's back in 1989. He traveled to Russia with the Team USA. They did a Russia versus USA meet, and who knows what the hell went on in that time period, but I'm sure it was pretty cool and exciting. You got to meet some badass dudes over there, no doubt. They got to stay in the Olympic Village, and if you could summarize that trip in a sentence, what would it be, Bull?
Scary at first. When we got off the plane, there were armed guards.
Sure.
AK-47s. It was snowing out, so it was like a scene out of Rocky.
That's awesome.
I tried to turn around. I'm like, fuck this. Ernie was like, we're going. Come on. So he pushed me and we went. And other than that, it was interesting. It was interesting. It made me really appreciate being here.
I bet, man.
I appreciate it.
When I first learned, I didn't even say met Bull. When I first learned about Bull, I was a college football player. And, this is back in his heyday. Bull, what did you weigh back in around 1990, 91? 350, 60 pounds, something?
382 was my heaviest.
382 was his heaviest. And a friend of mine, Brad Fichtel, who went on to be an NFL football player, we used to go down to Ernie Fran's gym just to learn what we could and become the strongest athletes on the planet. That was our goal, just like everyone that went to Ernie Fran's gym when it existed. And there was a high school meet in Dwight, Illinois. I believe it was the summer of 92, possibly 91. And Bull was the guest lifter. And so they needed some spotters for Bull's opening lift, which was 400 kilograms, 881 pounds. And this was done before monoliths, before fancy bars, on a wet high school gymnasium floor. Well, we get there, we're used to spotting people. We see Bull sitting down, fucking bleeding, using an oxygen tank during his warm-ups, and we're looking at each other. We know we're not in for a cakewalk on this. So Bull had a single-ply squat suit on at the time, barely. It was so damn humid you could cut the air with a knife. Bull's opening attempt, like I said, 400 kilograms, 880 pounds. Bull takes a couple steps back on a wet gym floor, no less. I remember people walking up trying to wipe the floor down before he'd go. Moisture would seep back in. We're terrified. There's no back spotter. I'm on the left side. My buddy Brad's on the right side. Bull drops in to hit his squat about 3/4 of the way down. Boom! You freaking hear an explosion. Catch the weight. The squat suit explodes. Keep in mind, this is 2 spotters. No back spotter. No additional side spotters. We go all in. Our feet are literally slipping on the floor. It's terrifying. We get it racked. Thank God this is over. It's not over. Bull goes back to get his other squat suit on and do it again. So that was my first experience, hanging with Bull. There's freaking blood flying everywhere. It's in a little farm community at a high school meet. It is the silence is deafening amongst the crowd. So it was pretty exciting. I'm sure that you remember that day, Bull.
Like it was yesterday.
Was that an accurate depiction of what went on?
It was.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrifying and awesome, and we couldn't stop talking about it the rest of the summer. We got back to school, told our college football buddies about it, and this is before internet days, so word would spread, people learn about stuff. When everybody would squat, and someone in our college waiting, we'd hear someone in the background, Huber! So it was pretty fucking cool. And since then, I've got to know Bull real well. He's helped me with my training. It's just he's been a great man. And in full disclosure, I'm not interviewing a stranger. This is a good friend of mine. And got a lot of cool stories to tell. And we'll start getting into it now. Bull, life and lifting. If you can give us a 20 to 60 second snapshot of your life, what would it be?
Well, my life was and still is strength sports. I was a powerlifter, turned footballer, turned strongman, turned arm wrestler, turned back to powerlifting or arm wrestling right now.
the gentlest of activities.
Yeah, I did stick with one sport per se. I was always interested. I even tried Highland Games.
Cool.
Just because I just
Because it was
enjoyed it. Yeah. Whatever hurt and could possibly fuck you up the most is what I wanted to do.
I can relate. Some of your best lifts. I know you've gone over in contests. You've walked out 1,015. I know you've hit 1,000. I think it was 1,020 or 1,021 in training.
1,021.
What's your best bench ever?
600, 605 in training, 551 in competition.
Excellent. Best deadlift ever?
666 in training and competition, 705 in the gym with straps.
I know you mentioned to me back in the day, you viewed powerlifting as a test of your squat, and then if you felt like benching and deadlifting, you did it.
Exactly.
I noticed like lately you seem to attack that deadlift a little harder. What's your rationale for that?
I wanted to pull over 700, but now that I'm back with you, my goals have shifted back to the squat, and I'm not going to say what I want to hit, but I want to do it before I'm 55, and it's going to, when I do hit it, it'll be in a light suit, not crazy reps, and it'll be pretty much untouchable.
What is your age right now?
I am 52 right now.
Okay, we got 3 years to make that happen.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, strength sports in general, escape, art, and sport. How would you rank? Get some commentary on each of those elements. Do you view it as an escape? Is it a form of art, or is it purely a sport? According to Bull Huber, how do you put those things?
It's a addiction.
An addiction. Gotcha.
Can't live without it.
Sure.
Any kind of, I have to do something. I can't be sedentary. I have to train for something. I have to do something competitive. Like you said, I started at 11, 52 now. I can't stop.
I read a quote recently that said, when I see someone strong, I know there's a background story. Like, you're putting over half a ton on your back and walking it out and, go and do whatever you can to drop down and come back up with that weight. Can you share what kind of state of mind you get into with, I'm sure lifters can relate to it, but could you put that state of mind into words that just an everyday average Joe could possibly relate to, or is that even possible?
Oh, it's possible. I don't know if it's legal, but I tried to put my mindset in the mindset of a serial killer. That this was to squat. This is the ultimate goal. And they will not be stopped. They will not. It's a total. They're in their own world. They're in their own dimension, their own fantasy. And that's how I viewed when I got ready to lift. It'd be almost like a fantasy. It'd be my own reality. I would not stop. I could not stop. And that's the only way I believe that you could squat over 1,000 pounds at that time.
And what's your best set? Some outlandish, like
905 for 5.
905 for 5. Take us back to that day, man. What was going through your mind? What drove you to do that? And how the fuck did you survive doing it?
Bill Nichols, who was my coach when Ernie was not around, or we would switch gyms. We would train at Ironworks Gym, which I owned, 1 week, and over at France Gym 1 week. Anyway, we were at our gym, and I was thinking 905 for a single. So I did it for one, and Billy Nichols was like, that's...
It's a whole other story.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that.
That's ridiculous. Let's kick it down. And let's try...
second set.
See how many you can do.
Okay.
Let's just buck around and see what you can do.
Sure.
So, on 5, I was bleeding so bad, I was just covered. The front of my suit, just my face was just covered with it. And I wanted to go for more because I had the strength to do more. But the cameraman said something to Bill. He doesn't look good. We might want to stop. So we wrapped the weight. I was all white and just covered in fucking blood and
yeah, I don't know.
A safety call.
Sure, I understand. I don't know how many times that feat ever been replicated in this existence. I don't know, not many. Maybe some of those strongman freaks may have hit a similar set, but it's not a common thing to do. I can promise you that. Shifting gears, Bull. A couple of your favorite athletes, strength-related or just traditional sport-related. Who comes to mind?
Diaz brothers.
Fighters.
Yes.
Why?
We have the same outlook on life. Okay. I don't give a fuck what you think of me. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the baddest motherfucker walking the planet, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, regardless if it offends you or not. And this number we've talked about me hitting is going to put it to where no one's going to touch it. And I think you have to have that sort of narcissistic mindset. And to be honest, the cannabis lifestyle is I've just introduced that to my life, and I love it. It's helped my pain and just puts me in a good place. And those guys really, they don't give a fuck, and I could really relate to them.
How about strength athletes? Top strength, not holding is your favorite, but a strength athlete that inspires you, or you look up to, or you at least appreciate.
Yeah, probably Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
And Hathor. Eddie Hall definitely is my number one guy.
Guys are on a whole other plane of existence.
Yeah, he's got sort of the same attitude. He's a little brazen, a little outspoken. I think I might be a little bit more of a loudmouth when I compete, but it's all part of my thing.
Gotcha. And I'd like to touch on this, and I don't know if we can get the full depth of it, but I know you live your life by a code of ethics. I mean, as human beings, there's certain things we totally have diametrically opposed views on. But as far as a friend and a man I can count on, you're fucking top notch. And there's a code of ethics you live by.
Yes.
And if you could just maybe give us a synopsis of that, I think the viewers would appreciate, or at least they're going to find it interesting, and what this code of ethics is that you live your life by.
Respect, loyalty, and just the perseverance. I want what I give you in return. It's all about that respect and loyalty. Basically, it has to go above and beyond what anybody these days, minus powerlifters and strongman and strength athletes, have. I think.
Sure. I see it. It's real.
America is sort of feminization of America, and that ain't gonna happen to me.
Gotcha.
But my loyalty to somebody is without question. But if you fuck me once, I wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire. It goes from black to white. I hold grudges forever. That's just the way it is, And my standard of living, don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. Whatever that case, whatever you do, don't be a bitch. Man up, sack up, do what you're supposed to do.
I remember at the meet in the summer in Michigan where we were at the end of the meet, let me rephrase the question. There's a special way to interact with kids, and it's really fucking awesome. It's cool. Tell me about that.
I give all my medals to kids that I win, whether it be arm wrestling, powerlifting. I would like them to maybe that would spark them to go down maybe a sport path, in a positive way. And actually, there's one gentleman, younger gentleman, that I believe I was at the Illinois State meet. I just deadlifted, and I won, and I gave him my medal. And he's really good now. He's a really good powerlifter, and it was all because I gave him my medal. And his coach told me about that, so I went and shook hands with him and said, "Hey, man, that's fucking awesome. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
That's what I want for. That's why I do that. I have so many trophies, and I don't mean to sound big-headed or whatever, but I have so many trophies and medals that they're just dust collectors now. I don't really give a shit about any of those things. I don't care about trophies. I don't care about records. I just want people to say, Bull Huber, that motherfucker did 1,000 back in the 90s. Now he's coming back in his 50s, and he's going to do something stupid again that nobody's going to touch."
Well, here's another thing I know about you for a fact. You get a rush out of helping other people. I can still have confidence in other people.
Yes.
Where do you think that comes from?
That's my dad. My mom and my dad were at every contest, and they still are. And to have that kind of support system,
Okay.
I feel that when they're my people that I help and train, my wife especially, when she's on the platform, I'm more nervous than when I'm on the platform.
Gotcha.
And to see her do good, just to see the light in her eyes, You know, it makes me feel better than when I hit a PR or I do something good in a contest.
Cool. Well, how about that? We're going to wrap this interview up. And the next interview, I'd like to get in some of your experiences working with a well-known motorcycle organization. So give some thought to what stories that aspect of your life you can share with us. We're not going to get into it today, but you'll spend some time thinking of what stories that was a big part of your life you can share with us. But I want to wrap this interview up this way, Bull. What are some things you've learned through trial and error and the School of Hard Knocks that you can share with us about, not even necessarily up-and-coming lifters, you can share with anyone that's looking to pursue, improved physical strength?
What I see now is the internet is a big source of information, but that source of information, in my opinion, is bullshit, because basically we have done everything, and all they're doing is taking it and rehashing it, and people don't know who Ernie France is. People don't know who Dave Passanella is. People don't know who Larry Pacifico is. These are the men that have shaped the powerlifting world, and we've done it all. So people take this and put a new stamp on it. Oh, this is how you do something. You put it on paper. The way I train people, the way I train myself, I figure out what I'm going to do when I'm driving into the gym. When I'm taking a shit before I get ready to lift. Am I going to squat today? Maybe I'll deadlift. It's just all on that day.
No substitute for experience.
That's all it is.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool. Well, okay, let's plug what you got going on. I know you train people. You got Huber Nutrition rolling out.
Yeah. Got
a couple kick-ass athletes that are taking part of that already.
Yeah.
Plug it. Tell us, anyone that's watching, if they want to reach out and get some info from you, how do they do it?
Go to Huber_nutrition at Instagram, or on Instagram. I am a NASM certified nutritionist. Not that it really means anything. I've taken a nutrition program with one of the top women IFBB figure girls, and we made this program. And it's not a diet, because it's a way of life. And one of my clients, Ashley Morris, she's lost over 10 pounds since October, and she's gotten a lot stronger. Everybody who I train, if they want to lose weight, they can lose weight. If they want to lose weight and get stronger, I can do that too. There's nothing fancy.
This people that live in the area, or just any?
I can do nutrition programming anywhere in the country, all over the world. As far as training goes, I would prefer they train with us, so I can see what's going on. I don't believe in the online training, because you can't see people's technique.
And you base your training on awareness.
Barbell 413.
Barbell 413.
Yes.
So somewhere in the Aurora, Plainfield, Naperville area.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Got a phone number or something you want to share? If you don't want to share that, don't.
209-518-2123 is my number. I might have some dumbass Bob's Burgers thing on there, or me being belligerent. That's me.
That's shocking.
So just shoot me a text, leave me a message, and I'll holler back at you, and we can talk and see if you're interested in doing my way.
Cool. All right, Bull, thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you sharing that with us. And we'll catch you around. Squat Life for New Year's number 2 is a wrap.